is full of applications. From deep sea to space. Here, composites enable lightweight constructions. They make mobility and transport more efficient, and they drive the energy transition forward. This is what has been motivating us for more than 40 years now. But the world is changing. Resources are limited. Emissions must be reduced. Loops must be closed. Sustainability is now an economic factor. Planet Composite stands for our approach, for what we have learned, and for what we consciously continue to develop every day. The central question is, how do composite solutions become circular, economically, and future-ready? The answer emerges step by step, through the responsible use of resources and energy, through rethought processes and new technologies, through products that meet the highest technical demands. SAERTEX Circular is our concept to support our customers on this path, built within a strong network, guided by new standards. For composite solutions with perspective, technically strong, economically viable, and future-ready, this is Planet Composite.
Planet Composite is our contribution to a more sustainable and future-ready composite industry. And this is what we'd like to share with you today and discuss with our two experts on the stage. It's Cassie Zhu from the TÜV Rheinland, with approximately around 26,000 employees worldwide and one of the leading auditing and certification companies for sustainability. And secondly, Daniel Stadl, he's the founder of Planet. It's a software company that established a new software based on the EU Taxonomy regulation as a new certificate that will be launched to the market now, incorporating all 7 pillars of the taxonomy that needs to be met in future by companies, including the composite industry. And Planet Composite, as I said, as SAERTEX, is our contribution to a sustainable, future-ready composite industry. And to give you some more insights, I'd like to discuss that with our two colleagues. And Cassie, maybe you can share why this is important for us in the future.
Yes, thanks about Christian for your warmly welcome. Also, I want to say hello and good afternoon or bonjour to all the audience. Yes, all the industry is currently at a turning point, especially for composite industry. So we learned regulations like EU Taxonomy, CSRD, CBAM. They are not only a politic or policy discussions. They are really affect the business models, product designs, and market access. On the other side, customers, OEMs, are clearly request something very, very concretely. That is a proof of your CO2 reduction, proof of your recycled materials, proof of compliance. And then we have to admit circularities at the composite is still at a limited scale. This also creates opportunities and, of course, also pressures. And sustainability is not only communication and marketing topic, it's a market access requirements.
And this is something that we recognized not only 9 months ago when the idea of Planet Composite and SAERTEX Circular had been born. No, of course, it is a part of our business already for 43 years, and we achieved a lot inside SAERTEX. But the idea of Planet Composite is going ahead because we like to support our customers in achieving the future coming regulations and the already existing regulations that are below the taxonomy, which is relevant in different areas of the world, and in particular in the EU, where the EU taxonomy is driving that. Yeah. Of course, as SAERTEX, we have done a lot like photovoltaics, like solar. We have done a lot in waste reduction. We have done a lot with adaptable machines. But something that we found 9 months ago, together with Planet, together with Circular Skills, the standard itself, and the TÜV Rheinland as one of the biggest certification and auditing companies worldwide in sustainability, is that the composite industry needs to be future ready. And future ready means that the 4 partners incorporated here started a network to drive sustainability and future ready composites. And what that means is that we're aiming for zero pollution, zero emission, and zero waste. What that means from a CEO perspective, and this is important, what we discussed 9 months ago, when the whole concept was transported from the construction supply industry to us as a composite industry, is that we as a CEO and C-level of companies, so the managing directors, are pretty much liable for the company itself, for the development of the company, and therewith of profitability and profitable growth, what means we need to have resilient business models for the future, and this incorporates sustainability in deep. It's regulatory risks and blind spots. Whom of you actually knows what kind of regulation you need to fulfill today? Below the taxonomy worldwide, there are so many regulations that you have to meet. And these blind spots, the new concept will completely bring up to the top, and you would be able to solve that. Sustainability needs to be economical. So it doesn't need to be a burden for a company. It needs to deliver profitability. It needs to deliver a resilient business model in the future, and it needs to be achievable and, very important, transparent and trustful. Why? Because image and positioning on the one hand of the company, but on the other hand of the management and the employees of the companies. And it needs to be easy. Easy to adapt, so means convenient and comfortable to reach for companies itself. And Daniel.
Thank you. So basically, just reflecting what we just heard from a CEO perspective, in generally holds for the entire company, each management level, right? When you look at this, and also through some points mentioned here, it can really create value through all, let's say, major management tasks. We have a management perspective for better decision making, right, through transparency. We have a product perspective, opening up new option spaces for product development and innovation. You have a more comprehensive risk assessment, right, through securing your assets that are allocated and your investments. And not to forget the marketing perspective and brand communication. You have a really differentiating factor when you, in a valid point of view, can communicate, let's say, your performance achievements here. And last but not least, your business becomes more resilient. This is a value chain and supply chain perspective. And these are major points. This should be an integral part for management tasks. And what does it actually mean? How do we get there? Like, there are a lot of abbreviations here from left to right. And most of the time, it's perceived that all regulation and requirements that come are putting a company and also the acting people under pressure. It's more like a cost burden, a pressure burden. And we have to flip that around. Like, just change the situation from reacting to acting. Like, what about to really understand what's coming next, what's meant by sustainability, what's meant by all these legal requirements, and strategically integrate that in your business thinking, in your business operations, and then at the end, simply serve what's required. And even if it's not defined yet, but up to what comes in the future, you're just able and in a better position to really achieve that. And how can we do that? Trust is a very, very vivid point here, right? Because a lot of companies say, okay, I have certifications, I have label, that is basically my evidence that's proving that I'm doing some things right. When we look at the market of certification and labels, and this is rather growing, and it's a market itself, it's not making the situation easier for companies, right? Because you kind of like are lacking the transparency. What's the right label? What's the right certificate? What is actually needed? Are there any double investments I do? And this is something, and I'll come to that later, what we want to solve. We want to introduce, as said earlier, a new leading standard that's solving these issues.
So what we can see from the slide just Daniel present, in this world, we are not lacking of the efforts. Every companies invest very heavily. But the real challenge is fragmentations. That means sustainability data is inconsistent, standard regulations are not harmonized, methodology not harmonized, and customer requirements are multiplied, regulations are overlapping. So without a structure, the complexity is growing faster than capabilities.
Thank you. And this is actually where our new standard comes in place. We do not want to replace a label or a certificate. We just want to connect loose ends and provide a comprehensive and full view on your sustainability performance. And this is done by a clear, structured methodology, right? Where you have a scorecard and see the results on different dimensions that are defined within the EU Taxonomy. We enable our customers that they can do it economically. There's a software behind that allows you to do it efficiently and at reasonable cost. And our methodology is robust. It is based on the generally approved definition of sustainable economic action by the EU. It's not a company, it's not an institute that defined that. This is the EU that defined this, and this is where our methodology is based on. And why is this important? The EU taxonomy itself, it's not mandatory, but it is the accepted definition and classification system for sustainable economic action. And on the operational level, when we come to directives and regulations, they are mandatory, and there's a lot to come, and they will be all in line with what is defined in the EU taxonomy. And now imagine when you have integrated this sustainability definition in your business thinking and business operations, you're in a way better position to serve what even is about to come. And then we can go through this mechanism at the end. You have the solid baseline that enables you to serve what is about to come. You have the valid data level and can also address all other, let's say, integrated challenges like reporting and so on and so forth.
So talking about how to differentiate yourself from the others, from your competitors, I say verification. That is the only way you can prove yourself. Why we should do this? Because verification can prove all your data is reliable, comparable, transparent. And then this also can give your company a very good reputation, bring more trust to the market. That's why we want to say verification can really bring the sustainability claims into a very good performance statement.
It's important what Cassie and Daniel presented. Reminding what Daniel said, the EU taxonomy is based on 7 pillars. The 7 pillars incorporating, on the one hand, the company itself. It incorporates also the design of a product and the circularity of a product, like done by the eco-design product guideline, like by circularity rules, like by REACH. So which components, material health, need to be chosen to be recyclable afterwards. All those questions and regulations are covered by that new standard that will be launched by the TÜV and Planet. And actually, we as SAERTEX have applied that standard to us, and we're currently in the phase of being certified. It's a standard that will prove that our material is even better than that had been confirmed by EcoVadis, for example. EcoVadis, for example, is covering 2.5 to 3 pillars of the 7 of the taxonomy. At the same time, Cradle to Cradle in the US standard in material health is covering roughly 3 pillars of the 7 of the taxonomy. And for us, as a European company, but also for international companies, it is quite important to meet the regulations below that. Because what I said in the beginning, the business model needs to be resilient. So our materials need to be healthy and allowed to be sold in the European Union, but also in other markets. Our material needs to be recyclable. And recyclability means a very different branch of opportunities how you can recycle. But it's important, if you want to use the recycling methodology for reducing your corporate carbon footprint, it needs to be a long-term application, the material you used in afterwards. It's not only disposing the material. Like materials that are be recycled and reused in composite facades, it's reused in the application itself. And this is also a part of the offering here I would like to go into in a few minutes. The standard had been developed over 5 years, so it's actually when we joined that journey, because we had been asked to support for the composite industry, they already worked 5 years on developing the new standard with an incorporated team of engineers and certification specialists. This standard is something incorporating different standards available on the market and has a much broader reach than existing standards and incorporating the findings, and that's important. And the second topic is what Daniel just said. There's a software behind making it easy to apply to companies. We did it ourselves, and the first status quo check for us, so to get to know where we are on the journey to become taxonomy conform, was an investment of 1,500 euros. So that was the first investment we did to know what is our status quo. So pretty easy, pretty simple, and pretty cheap. Even the journey you need to reach and the roadmap you need to build to be taxonomy conform afterwards is of course a project that you need to incorporate to your company. We do it, we have a sustainability manager inside the company, and we drive that forward. And a lot of the work that needs to be done can be done by our tech experts internally. Of course, for some specific questions and topics, we need the experts from TÜV and also from Planet. But in total, I can say it's absolutely applicable, it's absolutely reachable, and it's economically viable for the company. And it reduces the risks that we're carrying on our shoulders as managing directors of companies and as responsible product owners, product managers, but also sales guys selling the products to customers outside. And trust is something Cassie mentioned. Trust is very important because, of course, as SAERTEX, we can say, yes, we have a healthy material, but trust is delivered and approved by an external partner that has certified the conformity according to the taxonomy standard. And this was a pretty strong journey we went through, and we're currently in for some products where SAERTEX drives the industry transformation, support the industry transformation, and of course we all invite you, all of you, we invite to that journey to become future ready, to zero emissions, zero waste, and zero pollutions for composites. Planet is the digital backbone. It's the company that makes it easy to assess, easy to apply, and I would say in a structured way, easy to achieve in the future. TÜV Rheinland, besides circular skills, that's the standard itself, are really driving the verification, trust building, and certification of that standard. And besides TÜV, Cassie, I can say you certified the standard, but every certification company elsewise worldwide is allowed to use that, right? So with your 26,000 employees, of course, you have a global footprint, but also other certification companies are allowed to use that standard. And that's the simple thing that comes out of it. Customers really benefit from an integrated approach. It's nothing where you only look into an EPD. It's not that you look only in circularity, recycling your materials, where we also have a comprehensive and strong network to do so, and we're inviting other recyclers, other networks to participate in that. It's a product offering that not SAERTEX only offers. We offer the entrance to that because we have strong experts really delivering on the management perspective, where you got an awareness what regulations you need to meet, you must meet. Our experts out of the network can train your staff, your management, and build the knowledge that is needed for achieving those taxonomy targets. And of course, very important for the management is a risk analysis. So where are you today on that journey? Do you meet the taxonomy or not? We got our findings and we are on a pretty good way on the journey. Secondly, the product perspective. How circular is your product today? Actually, we tested some of our products and we are, I would say, pretty circular with our products. And the material analytics. Do you meet the REACH, for example, the REACH material health standards? Do you meet cradle-to-cradle material health standards? This is something that can be analyzed in the laboratories included in the network we have. And of course, design and application engineering, what we do every day, but also here extended to material health standards and according to a circular design of the products and composites. The circular economy, it's simply you need to know how your product can be recycled afterwards when you design the product. What will you do with the composite waste from the production? I just had a meeting roughly 1 week ago where we discussed 600 to 1,000 tons composite waste a year to bring that back into a circular concept and thereby reducing the corporate carbon footprint of the company and at the same time reducing the waste disposal cost. This is something we can offer with that network and with the offer of SAERTEX Circular, where also our sustainability manager and all our guys in sales are the right contact points. And of course, we have a recycling partner network. And as I said, recycling companies are invited to join us on that journey. And finally, Cassie and Daniel, we have the certification perspective. So every need is there, like an EPD, LCA, like a corporate carbon footprint, like a REACH analysis, like a design according to the packaging regulation, or whatever needed in that case can be supported and applied by our partners up to the final certification according to the taxonomy. This is the whole concept of SAERTEX Circular, where we say, of course, we as SAERTEX invest in ourselves. We have a strategy to become circular, to become sustainable and taxonomy conform, but at the same time, we're opening the partner network that we found up to our customers to enter the same journey and driving sustainability for the future of the composite industry. Thanks a lot for listening. Well, we still have some time for questions, if there are some, but you can also approach us, of course. Chat. Roland. I know.
Hello? Yeah, sorry. I'm Roland. Hi. One question to Daniel, maybe, because before joining SAERTEX, I spent some more years in the chemical industry, and what I actually see is that some of the big chemical companies used to embark on cradle to cradle, and some of them really got, I would say, frustrated or bored by the level of the software, by the service. Where do you see a potential benefit in using the Planet concept compared to the incumbents?
Like, the main advantage is time, cost, and also the ease of use, because it's a guided process that guides you, and all the information you already collected, if you are cradle certified, EcoVadis, whatever, that will be incorporated in the analysis. So that's not lost, it's incorporated. You get a comprehensive view on your performance, but it's really time, cost, and ease of use. Thank you very much.
I just got a sign that we need to step down the stage. So, yep. But if there are any questions left, please approach us where we are down off the stage. We are open to discuss. We are open to share the contacts and, of course, enter the journey of having future-ready composites together. Thank you.